Welcome to 30 Second Chances. It's April the 1st, and I'm really excited. We have a very, very special guest for you today. For those of you who may not remember his work, let's show you a special clip we've prepared.
Do you like music?
Do you like cheese?
Hi folks, Colby Cheddar here, and if you're like me, you know nothing goes better with great music than great cheese. Yes, whether you like a bit of fromage with your Frampton, some cheddar with your Tchaikovsky, or just a bit of blue cheese with your Green Day, we've got your favorites in our new 20 CD compilation, The Greatest Hits of Cheese. You'll just melt when you hear some of these classic tunes, like this one.
Don't you know that I love you?
Do you remember this classic?
We're having a party.
We've got the chart topping his cheesiest hits for you. Where were you when you first heard this classic cheesy number?
They call me mozzarella. They call me
Here's a classic favorite of every boy and grill.
provolone again. Naturally,
Oh, those long, hot, cheesy summer nights.
summer breeze makes me feel fine. Blowing.
Fromage never sounded so good.
You know my cheese will not fade away.
Classic hits for every ocaso.
Some chilly evening.
And how about this cheesy number?
You did the mash. You did the monster mash. The monster.
There's so many tunes here that you know you're fondue of.
She was just alright with me. She was just alright, oh yeah. So you say you cheddar, you cheddar, you cheddar, you bet. When I say I'm cheesy.
So break out the crackers and dig into our new spread, The Greatest Hits of Cheese.
Get your copy today, just $5.99.99 or 200 easy payments of $19.99 plus interest, tax, and penalties. All sales final. No sales to minors or lactose intolerant. Void where prohibited. Not valid in some areas. No preservatives, no additives. Floss after brushing. All sales final. Cheese is a registered trademark of the dairy counter. All rights reserved.
Welcome to 30 Second Chances, where we ask deep, contemplative questions and provide far too little time to formulate thoughtful, reflective answers. My guest today, joining us from his home in Stilton Beach, California, is singer, songwriter, and lactose enthusiast Colby Cheddar. Colby, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Daniel. How are you?
Great, glad to hear it. Okay, you know the drill. 30 seconds on the clock, and then on to the next question. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Question number 1. Describe your job to a 5-year-old.
Well, Daniel, it might be a bit daring of me to say, but I think you're a bit older than 5. In any case, I consider myself an indispensable conduit between the cheese-consuming public and the farmers and cows who make it all possible. I am utterly committed to the art and craft of fromage in all its forms. After all, you know, cheese is more than just a food. It's a culture. It's a way of life. And I think that for me, it's more important than anything else.
Next question. What's the strangest thing you've ever done for money?
Well, you know, back in the day, I used to have a job in pest control, and one of our regular clients was a Presbyterian house of worship. Now, being good people of faith, they were strict followers of the commandments, including thou shalt not kill. So we had these little catch and release traps for all the little critters running around. Well, I showed up there one day, and there were these 2 little church mice in the trap. I picked up the trap, and as I was carrying it outside, one of them looked me straight in the eye and said, "Sir, we'd like to talk to you about cheeses." That's when I discovered my calling.
All right, and one final question. If you could have one pointless or semi-useless superpower, what would it be?
Well, you know, when I was just a young kurd, I wanted to play the guitar. Not the acoustic guitar, you know, none of that old on top of old smoky nonsense for me. I wanted to be a rock and roll guitar player. I wanted to be the greatest rock and roll guitarist ever, a total shredder. So I guess my superpower would have to be the greatest guitar shredder ever. Sounds cheesy, I know, but you know, that's always been my dream, and I'd like to see if I could...
Well, that concludes our questions. Colby Cheddar, thank you so much for being our guest. It's been a pleasure having you.
Well, thanks very much for having me, and it's been a real pleasure on my end as well. How soon are you going to send me a check?